But here's our little slideshow on our trip to Baja, which is scheduled for February 2, 3, 4, and back on the 5th. And of course, Stacy Hunt is our Baja expert, and she's not only a silver pin sommelier, but she's the vice president on the board of the National Association of Wine Retailers. She's a wine reporter for NPR, a wine writer, and has done so many different things for wine and represents Baja on a number of occasions and has done that forever. And so, Stacy, it's great to work with you on this trip. I think there's no better person to count on. Excuse my finger as the slideshow's going all over the place, but we'll clean that up on the video. Um, but Stacy, there's no better person to talk to about what's happening in Baja and to know to have your finger on the pulse down there in the wine country and what's happening with these wineries and the whole lifestyle that is the wine lifestyle of Baja. So we are excited to work with you. We're going to get on a train, or this one of the options is to meet us basically in the San Diego area at the train station. You can drive down, park your car. You can take the Amtrak down, and just get off the Amtrak. We'll be right there. We'll get on a bus, and we'll bus down to our resort. I don't know why it keeps kicking back and forth like that, but it's really not my fault. Sorry about that.
It's
Um,
excited. Your
yeah, it's
reservation's
something about
excited.
the way these slideshows react. I don't know. There's something pushing back in the universe. Um, but El Cielo is our choice location. If given the choice of where we want to go and where we want to stay, a beautiful property with a lot of different room options, and so we have those available too. And and that's the one thing about planning a trip to Baja. If you go on to the websites and start to look around, you'll see that Baja has become a very premium destination, and there's kind of this large canvas and hotel options. You have very inexpensive, not so spectacular destinations that you can make do with, and then you have these very high end, um, 4 or 5 star level properties, and there's not a lot in the middle, and the high end properties are pretty small. So that's one of the many reasons why we like to take about 12 people on our trips, and we keep them small, we keep them intimate, we get you a great room at a great hotel, take very good care of you, traveling on luxury accommodation across the border to the hotel. We'll go to many a winery, and we will see so many different things. And Stacy, why don't you tell us about some of these wineries?
Sure. Well, first of all, you'll notice architecture when you take a look at these two pictures. This is a picture of one winery called Venacava on the top. And what Venacava did is they took an old boat that somebody left behind in the city of Long Beach, and they carted it down there and turned the boat upside down, and that became the ceiling and the roof of that particular winery. All of the wineries have quite unique and artistic and very Instagrammable architecture. Here is a taco truck that is on location at Venacava, which is where we will stop for lunch one day when we're doing the wine tasting there. And they not only have tacos, but some extraordinary fresh oysters and beautiful other dishes. And you sit under this netting on picnic tables and just have a feast with the wine that you have from the winery. This is the interior of the winery. Note the ceiling there. You can see
Yeah, it's
boat,
the
you know,
boat.
that's the boat. And so I mean, you will be jaw-droppingly excited when you start looking at the architecture and meeting the people. Some of the other wineries we'll visit are Bruma, and Bruma is a woman winemaker. As a matter of fact, there are there's a plethora of women winemakers in Baja California, and I think this will be exciting for everybody because they bring a sensibility that's a little bit different, a little more of a nurture to the winemaking process and the hospitality process as well. So we'll go to Bruma, and you'll meet Lulu. She's originally from this region, but she left and went to France and worked with Lurton in France and convinced him to come to Baja and open a bodega, which he did. And she got him started. And once she got him started, she said, okay, now you're on your own. I'm going to open my own enterprise. And that's what she did. And then we'll go also to meet Casa Magoni. We're going to meet him. Mr. Magoni is one of my mentors. He's about 80 years old, but don't let that fool you. He just started a brand new enterprise at age 80, and he is a masterful winemaker of Nebbiolo. He was winemaker of the year for Decanter magazine, and he only does Italian varieties. So
He so reminds me of like Robert Mondavi of Baja.
yes, yes, that's a really good analogy. He is the Robert Mondavi. He has another thing he does, which is for all of us that are interested in sustainability. He has a sanctuary vineyard. No one knows where it's located, and he works with the university in Milan and in Ensenada and UC Davis, and they are protecting the wine varieties that are becoming extinct by planting in this sanctuary vineyard so that we don't lose these varieties to heat or pestilence or just commerciality, where people just tear out rare vines that they don't think people want to drink today. So he's got that story to tell.
Amazing.
We'll go not only to those types of wineries, but little tiny ones. One of my favorites is Tres Mujeres. And this is such a sweet little winery with a cave. We'll go inside the cave and we'll taste wine with the owner and the woman winemaker. And she's just beautiful. She's French background, and her parents came here, and she's second generation making wine, but she's originally from France. And she has a partnership with, as a couple of them in the Valley do, with a French winery in the southern part of France, the Pays d'Arc, Languedoc area. And so sometimes they bring the grapes from Languedoc to Baja and make wines there in Baja with the grapes from Languedoc. And other years they ship the grapes from Baja to Languedoc and they make the wine there with the Baja grapes. So again, every one of these wineries has a story that you will want to retell to your family and friends. It's not just a tasting. This is experiential.
That's great. Well, Monte-Zanique, I've been to with you many years ago, one of the pioneering like prestige brands, if I remember correct.
Yes, started by a German guy, and now his son runs it, Hans Backhoff Jr. And also a woman winemaker there as well. And they have a beautiful man-made lake, and it's a wonderful place to picnic or just walk around and relax. And their wines are, triple gold award winners globally. So you'll be tasting some beautiful wines there.
Yeah, and the list is long. There's so many that we could potentially go to. We won't hit them all, obviously, but we will pack the day with the most experiential opportunities. I've even been with you when multiple wineries came together in one location, and
Yes.
we've pulled that off. And one way we could do that is go to like one of the great restaurants like Deckman's, and potentially drink some wines there. Maybe have a winemaker or two join us.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah, Deckman's is an interesting story. You've probably read about them. And Drew Deckman's an American, and he ended up getting a gig down in Cabo, working for the Twin Dolphin Hotel down there. And then he came up to Baja just to see what was going on because he was hearing all about it. Met a woman and said, okay, I'm in love, not only with this woman, but with Baja. What am I doing in Southern Baja? I need to be in Northern Baja. He left Twin Dolphin, started his own restaurant enterprise there, and it's categorized as one of the top 50 restaurants in North America. So we will be dining there.
wow, very cool. And I've only heard amazing things about Deckman's.
Yeah, and if you're a vegetarian, if there's anyone on the trip that's vegetarian, every one of the restaurants where we will go has wonderful vegetarian options. All of the vegetables and the fruits are organic, and all of the seafood and fish come from organic farmed areas right in the Pacific. And you'll, in fact, coming down the highway to get to Baja, you'll drive by and you'll be able to see some of these farms, fish farms.
And then there's Javier's Finca.
Yes. Javier Plasencia, again, another name that I'm sure many of you are familiar with. He has had restaurants in Southern California and will have again. Presently, he's concentrating on both Northern Baja and Southern Baja in Todos Santos. But his restaurant that is so famous in the valley is called Finca Altozano, Finca meaning farm, and he has an active farm, and he has not only a fantastic restaurant there, you see a picture of it, but he also, it's all wood fired cooking, and he has a coffee area there where he grinds his own roasts and grinds his own beans. There's his farm. He also has a gelato section there where you can have gelato there. Take a look at how cool that is.
It's
um,
beautiful.
and understand that lunch in the valley is a lunch that starts maybe around 12:30 to 1:30 and goes until 3:30 or 4. And you
Yeah.
just lounge and eat and sip and drink and talk and meet people and grab your glass and walk around the farm for a while and come back. There's nothing hurried or stressful. It's very restful.
Well, I think that's important to realize too is that while we love to wine and dine, we like to keep a pace that's also sustainable and you're feeling good about it afterwards. Some people you can't stop them from hurting themselves, but but we provide a pretty balanced diet of activities and being able to talk and learn. It's not just tasting a tasting room thing that anybody can do. Stacy really works with these people to get experiences that you just can't get going with one or two people. When you bring a small group with someone like Stacy in charge, they make special things happen, and that's really the opportunity that this trip presents. And also just realize that it's gotten really really busy down there, and so being able to get some of these things pulled off, we have to work in advance. So we're working hard now to try to secure the trip and make sure that it's going to be successful. We take 12, like I said, but the trip is a premium trip, and I think I've covered all the pictures. So I'm just going to go back to the website and show that where there is a spot for a deposit. And once you get to make your $1,000 deposit, we'll send you the packet with all the different room options, because there are different options like junior suite and master suite. Those are basically the two categories that they have available for us at the hotel. And then there's the prices that you can see, and there's little subtle things that can separate those a little bit. If you're traveling alone or you're traveling with a group, there's some little variations that we cover on the contract. So take a look at the agenda. Let me know if you would like to attend. We are hoping to make a pretty serious commitment very soon to the hotel and to start to really lay the foundation so that we can get these appointments absolutely secured and timed out perfectly. That's how we do it. And Stacy, I'm looking forward to it, and we will be pushing out this trip with pricing now and everything else in place this coming week. So we'll look forward to seeing some results in the next week or so.
I want to say one last thing, and that's about the weather. February here in Southern California is a rainy season, we hope, but in Baja it is not. The temperatures are temperate around 67 degrees, and there might be a drizzle in the morning or late at night, but during the day the sun shines, and the temperature goes down to like I'd say low 60s in the evening. So it's somewhere between 58 and 60 at night, good red wine drinking temperature. And then during the day, it goes up, to like 68, 71, right in there.
Yeah, I love that time of the year. It's the summer heat and everything here. We got harvest and all that going on, and by that time things have really calmed down, and the winemakers are getting to the business of presenting the wines, bottling the wines, and
Yeah.
traveling for the wines. So we'll have their undivided attention. Well, Stacy, it's great to get the update from you, and we'll look forward to seeing you in Baja.
Yes. Please join us.
All right, talk to you soon.
Bye, Ian.
Bye. Thank you.